Alright, so this is going to be your review for your radical test. I'm going to go ahead and work out these problems and help you through this. So first one, okay, we have the square root of 25. Well, that one is fairly easy. We know the square root of 25 is just 5. So you're done with the first one. Alright, number 2, we have the square root of 82. So we need to go ahead and do our little family tree. Find our prime numbers that go into 82. So I have 82. Need two numbers that go into 82. So you can use your calculator and find a couple. So I can do 2 and 41. Okay, 2 is a prime number, so I know there's nothing else that can go. I don't have to do anything else for that one. 41, you can sit there and type in your calculator. Just do 41 divided by all these numbers and see if you can get any two numbers. And what you will notice, okay, when you do this, is that there are not any numbers that go into 41 except for 1 and 41 because 41 is a prime number. So with that being said, these are your two numbers, 2 and 41. So we have the square root of 2 times 41. There's nothing you can pull out because there's no pairs, so you're just left with the square root of 82. Okay. Number 3, we have 2 square roots of 27. So we're going to first focus on the square root of 27. So I'm going to do my little family tree over here. 27, we can do 3 and 9. 9, we can do 3 and 3. So these are my prime numbers, 3, 3, and 3. So I have the square root of 3 times 3 times 3. So all those are done. Here's a pair of 3's. Write it down, cross it out, square root of 3. But don't forget, you have this 2 out in front. Okay, so we have this 2 out in front. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then we have the square root of 3. And that's your final answer. Alright, number 4, we have 2 square roots of 45p squared. So we're going to start first with the square root of 45p squared. So we got 45. Okay, we can do 45 and, we can do 5 and 9. 5 is a prime number. 9 we have 3 and 3. So we have 5, 3, and 3. So we have the square root of 5 times 3 times 3. All my prime numbers are done. Then we have p times p. Okay, circle your doubles, write it down, cross it out. Circle your doubles, write it down, cross it out. What you have left in the square root is a 5. But don't forget, this entire time we had a 2 on the outside. You have a 2 on the outside. So to simplify your answer, you have 2 times 3, which is 6, p, square root of 5. Alright, number 5, we have 4 square roots of 28x cubed y cubed. So first we're going to focus on the square root part, starting with 28. So for 28, we can do 7 and 4. 4 is 2 and 2. So we have 7, 2, and 2. Okay, and so I have the square root of 2 times 2 times 7. So all my prime numbers are done. I have x to the third power, so that means I need 3 x's. 1, 2, 3. Y to the third power, that means I need 3 y's. 1, 2, 3. Circle your double, write it down, cross it out. Circle your double, write it down, cross it out. Circle your double, write it down, cross it out. And so what I have left on the inside is a 7, an x, and a y. Okay, but don't forget you had a 4 on the outside this entire time. Okay, so we had another 4 out here on the outside. So to simplify your answer, 4 times 2 is 8. So we have 8x, y, square root of 7x, y. Okay, So now we need to go back over to number 6. Square root of 512 times the square root of 30. Okay, first thing we do is we're going to multiply 512 times 30. So 512 times 30, we get 15,360. Okay, so I have a feeling we're going to have a fairly long family tree, 15,360. Okay, so I can do that, 360, can divide that by 10. So we have 10 and 1,536. 10 is easy, that's just 2 and 5. Okay, 1,536, I can divide that by 6 and 256. 6 is easy, that's just 2 and 3. 256, I can divide that by 16. And I'm just picking numbers. I mean, you can divide all this stuff by 2s. It would just take you a long time. That's 4 and 4. That's 2 and 2. 2 and 2. And the same thing over here. 4 and 4. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. A lot of prime numbers. A 2, a 5, a 2, a 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and a 2. Okay. Square root. Make it pretty long so I know I have a lot of stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 twos. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 twos. Cross them all off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And all I have left is a 3 and a 5. So times 3 times 5. Okay, circle your pairs, cross them out. So there's 1, cross it out. 2, cross it out. 3, cross it out. 4, cross it out. 5, cross it out. And then I have no pairs. All I'm left with is just 3 times 5. Okay, so we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Put that in the calculator, you'll get 32. 3 times 5 is 15. So the square root of 15,360 reduces down to the square root, or 32 square roots of 15. Okay, and again, you can pause this, go back, all that stuff, rewind, watch it over and over and over again if I go too fast through this. Number 7, you have the negative 4 times the square root of 192x times 32, square root of 32x. Okay, negative 4 times the invisible 1 is negative 4. And then we have the square root. 192 times 32 is 6,144. And then we have x times x. Well, if you remember, whenever you multiply, you add your exponents. So that's going to give us x squared. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the 6,144. Okay, so 6,144, we can divide that by 4. So get 4, 15, 36. 4 will give us 2 and 2. Okay, we can do 15, 36. We can divide that by 16. Get 16 and 96. 16 I know is 4 and 4. So that's 2 and 2. And that's 2 and 2. 96, I know I can do 8 and 12. That's 2 and 4. That's 2 and 2. And then my 12 is 3 and 4. And that will be 2 and 2. Okay, there we go. Lots of prime numbers here. I have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, a 3, and 2 more 2's. So, to write this out, we have negative 4. Square root, make it really long. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2. So I'm going to cross that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 2's. And then I have that 1, 3 left over. Okay, then we have this x squared over here. That means I have 2 x's, so I'm going to write that down twice. And now I'm going to go ahead and start pulling out my pairs. So there's -4, pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. And then I have 1, 2, 1, 3, and then a pair of x's, write it down, cross it out. And then all I have left on the inside is just a 2 times 3. Alrighty, so we have -4 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That will give us -128. We have an x, square root, and 2 times 3 is 6. So there's your final answer for that. That's a long problem. Alrighty, number 8. Okay, we have 3 square roots of 5 times -4 square roots of 20. Okay, so we're going to multiply the outside first. We have 3 times -4, which is -12. And then on the inside, we have 5 times 20. 5 times 20 is 100. This one is actually easy because we know the square root of 100 right here. If you type in the calculator square root of 100, it will give you 10. So all this is -12 times 10. When you multiply -12 times 10, your final answer will be -120. That's for doing a good job on number 7. Alright, number 9. Okay, now we're adding square root of 11, square root of 11, and the square root of 99. Okay, I know I can combine these square roots of 11s, but before I do that, I need to reduce the square root of 99. So I'm going to focus on this real quick. So 99, square root of that. Okay, we can do 9 and 11. 9 is going to be 3 and 3. So here are my prime numbers. So you have the square root of 11 plus the square root of 11 plus the square root of 3 times 3 times 11. Look for your pairs and pull that out. So we have 3 square roots of, I have an 11 left over. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down this. It's 2 squared to 11. Okay, and now this, I'm going to just kind of a little side note real quick. If you don't get confused. If you do, then rewrite it. Let's call the square root of 11 x. So that'll be x plus 3 x's. When you add that up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 x's. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay. Same thing over here. Just pretend as if these are apples. Here's an apple. There's an apple. 3 more apples. You have 5 of these apples. Well, instead of calling them apples or x's, they're going to be square roots of 11. The square root of 11 plus the square root of 11 is 2 square roots of 11. Plus 3 more will give us 5 square roots of 11. It's just combining like terms. That's all that is. Alrighty, number 10. Okay, first I'm going to break down the square root of 12. Then we'll do the 44, then we'll do 48. So let's do 12. 12, we have 3 and 4. 4, I have 2 and 2. Okay, so here I'll have -8 square root of 2, 2, and 3. 2, 2, 3. Okay, pull out my 2's, write it down, cross it out. All I have left is the square root of 3. -8 times 2 is -16. Square root of 3. I'm done with this first part. Okay, this part is done. Now I'm going to focus on the square root of 44. 44, we can do 4 and 11. 4 will give us 2 and 2. So here I have -2 square root of 2 times 2 times 11. sure, 2 to 11, all those have been used. Circle your pair, write it out, cross it off. All you're left with is the square root of 11. Negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4, square roots of 11. Okay, done with that middle part. Last part is negative 9 square roots of 48. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do 48. 48, we can do 4 and 12. 4 is 2 and 2. 12 is 4 and 3. 4 is 2 and 2. So I have 2, 2, 2, 2, and a square root of 3. So here I have minus 9, square root of 1, 2, 3, 4 2's and a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 3. Okay, pull out your pair. So there's a pair of 2's, write down, cross it off. Pair of 2's, write down, cross it off. Square root of 3. Negative 9 times 2 will give me negative 36. And I have a square root of 3 left over. Okay, so now I'm going to look and see what I can combine. Here I have a square root of 3. There I have a square root of 3. So I'm going to do negative 16 minus 36 to get negative 52. Square roots of 3. Okay, and if you need to box it in like we do with combining like terms, box them in. Okay, negative 16 minus 36 gives me negative 52, square root of 3. And the other thing that I have left is a negative 4 square roots of 11. And that's going to be my final answer. Alright, and we got 5 more left, I believe. Let's see, let me go back over here. Yep, 5 more. Okay, so we're going to start up here at number 11. We have 3 square roots of 54 plus 5 square roots of 6. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the square root of 54. So 54, my two numbers that can go into 54, we can do 9 and 6. 9 will be 3 times 3. 6 is 2 times 3. So 3, 3, 2, and 3. So that'll be 3 square roots of 1, 2, and 3 3's. Okay, I can cross out all those. Circle my pair of 3's. Okay, write it out, cross it out, and on the inside I'm left with 2 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, done with that part. Now over here, if you look at 6, 2 and 3 going to 6, that's it. There's no pairs I can pull out, so that does not simplify. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this down. Plus 5 square roots of 6. When you're adding, we just combine like terms. 9 plus 5 is 14, and then we have the square root of 6. And that's it. Number 12, square root of 2 minus the square root of 18. Okay, first of all, we know 2 is a prime number. I can't do anything with that, so I'm done with that. I have the square root of 2. Now I'm going to focus on the square root of 18, so minus whatever we get from the square root of 18. 18, two numbers that can go into that are 2 and 9. 3 and 3 go into 9. So my numbers are 2, 3, and 3. 2 times 3 times 3. Have a pair of 3's I can pull out. Cross that off, bring that 2 down. So square root of 2 minus 3 square roots of 2. Okay, the number's the same on the inside, so I can just combine like terms. 1 minus 3, because remember you have an invisible 1 right here. 1 minus 3 is a negative 2, square roots of 2. And that's your final answer. Number 13, square root of 180. I should say minus, so ignore that little multiplication sign. Minus 5 square roots of 5 plus the square root of 20. Okay, so first of all, I know I'm going to start with this square root of 180. So we have 180. I know I can do 10 and 18. 10 I can do 2 and 5. 18 we can do 2 and 9. 9 I can do 3 and 3. So we have 2, 5, 2, 3, and 3. So the square root of, I have 2 2's. I'm done with those. 2 3's. Done with those. And a 5. Pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Pair of 3's, write it down, cross it out. Square root of 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 square roots of 5. This is what that simplifies to. So I know I'm done with the square root of 180. Can't simplify the square root of 5, so I'm just going to bring this right on down. So minus 5 square roots of 5. And now I'm going to focus on the square root of 20. So I have 20. That will be 4 and 5. This is going to be 2 and 2. So 2, 2, and 5. So that's going to be square root of 2 times 2 times 5. I have one pair of 2's to pull out. Write it down, cross it out. A 5 is left over. So this will be plus 2 square roots of 5. All of these have the square root of 5, so I'm just going to combine them. 6 minus 5 plus 2. And then that's going to give us 3 square roots of 5 as our final answer. Alright, 2 more, and then that's it. So on number 14, I have 2 square roots of 24 plus 4 square roots of 54 plus 5 square roots of 96. Okay, so first we're going to start with 24. So 24, two numbers that can go into 24 will be 4 and 6. 4 is 2 and 2, 6 is 2 and 3. Okay, so those are my prime numbers. So I have 2 square roots of 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Cross all these out. Okay, I have a pair of 2's. I can pull that out, cross it out, and then what I have left over is just 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. I am done with this part. Okay. The next one I'm going to look at is this 4 square roots of 54. Focus on 54 for right now. 54, I can do 9 and 6. 9 is going to be 3 and 3. 6 is going to be 2 and 3. So here we'll have 4 times the square root of 1, 2, and 3 3's. So 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. So I have a pair of 3's I can pull out. So 4 times that pair of 3's. Square root of 2 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. And the last one that I'm going to do is the square root of 96. So for 96, okay, we're going to do 12 and 8. 12 I can do 3 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. 8 will be 2 times 4. 4 will be 2 times 2. Alright, so my prime numbers are 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So for this last one, we have 5 square roots of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, and 1, 3. Starting to run out a little bit of space. Okay, so I have 5 pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. Another pair of 2's, write it down, cross it out. And then we have 2 times 3. Okay, so 5 times 2 times 2 will give us 20. 2 times 3 is 6. So again, we have the square root of 6 for every single one. They're all positive numbers on the outside, so we can add these up. 4 plus 12 plus 20 is 36. 36 square roots of 6 is your final answer. Alright, last one Like I said, you're more welcome to pause, rewind, go back to these, whatever you need to do. I'm very short on time, so I'm trying to hurry and get this done for you. Last one, we have square root of 3 plus 8 squared to 54 minus 2 squared to 28 minus 7 squared to 96. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with the square root of 63. So we have 63. Okay, we can use 7 and 9. 9 is going to be 3 and 3. So I have 3, 3, and 7. So this will be 3 times 3, okay, times 7. And so then I can go ahead and pull out my pair of 3's. So 3 square roots of 7. I'm done with that first one. Second one, we'll focus on 54. And I believe we already did square root of 54 up here. Yes, we did. Square root of 54 ended up being this 3 pulling out with 2 times 3 left over because we don't care about the 4. So that's actually 3 square roots of 6. So this is going to be 8 times 3 square roots of 6. Double check that. Was a 3 on the outside? Yep, a 3 on the outside. So that's going to be 3 square roots of 6. 8 times 3 is 24, so we have 24 square roots of 6. Okay, then we're going to focus on square root of 28. I'm going to look back up here and see if we done a square root of 28. Does not look like we did. Okay, so let's do 28. Two numbers I can go into 28 are 4 and 7. 4 is 2 and 2. So we have 2, 2, and 7. So minus 2 square root of 2 times 2 times 7. Pair of 2's, so negative 2 times 2 square root of 7. Negative 2 times 2 is a negative 4, square root of 7. And then the last one that I have to focus on is the square root of 96. And I'm pretty sure we just did that. Yes, we did. Square root of 96, if we ignore this 5, was 2 times 2 is just 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. So that'd be 4 square roots of 6. So minus 7 times 4 square roots of 6. Negative 7 times 4 is negative 28 square roots of 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine my like terms. Okay, I have a square root of 7 and then square root of 7 here. So when we do 3 minus 4, we get negative 1 square root of 7. So those are done. And then I have a square root of 6 and a square root of 6. Okay, so when we do 24 minus 28, we get negative 4 square roots of 6. And so that's your final answer. Alright, so that is it for your review. If I go too fast, you can go back and watch it again. Pause it while you write it down. With these numbers, for 54 and 96, if you want to do 54 again, and you want to do 96 again, you're more than welcome to write them out, do your family trees again. Just make sure you end up with 3 square roots of 6 and 4 square roots of 6. Alright, so make sure that you study this because you have your test on block day.